The girls to be doing it with as well, you know, obviously with Nina and Kate and Lisa and Rachel and Katie O'Farrell, and I mean really draw the line. I mean there's so many girls that they didn't get to shoot, but no, we're looking forward to seeing it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully they made you look good, like, you know, well, it's a tough ask, like.
With a bit of luck, there's nothing I can do about it now.
Too late. Look, I mean, we have a cracking race coming up, Ted. Unfortunately, it's probably not as strong as we originally hoped it might be. Footpad doesn't run. We know that Simply Ned is a non-runner, despite the fact that he won here over Christmas. I think he's lame, but Min is the horse they have to beat here, is he?
He is, yeah. Min was good here last year. He was unlucky to lose it at Christmas when Simply Ned got it off him. Not unlucky to lose it, but he was the best horse on the day, except he infringed the rules. But he won here well this time this race last year. He looks a good 2-mile chaser. He's probably not Altior class, but he's a very good horse. He's had very, very few bad runs in his life, and expecting a good performance from him today.
He won the John Gherkin in Punchestown. We can have a little look at this now, at his performance over 2.5 miles. Of course, he's back to 2 today. This was him.
Yeah, it gets a bit tight actually here just as they come down to the second last. That was Jack. Ruby thought Jack was going to let him out, and Jack rightly didn't so. And he got a grand run up the inside. He has the horse and comes down to the second last. Half comes back on the bridle here and does it well from the back of the last. He's been second in Cheltenham twice. He was second in the Supreme to Altior, and he was second in the Champion Chase to Altior as well. So he's a class horse, and at the minute he seems to be the only horse who's going to put it up to Altior.
We thought Footpad would win on seasonal reappearance in Naas, Ted, but he came down and St Calvados went on to take the prize money. He's back over. It's great to see a couple of English horses anyway coming over. We've got Labaga Rod tomorrow, obviously taking on Delta Work, but this horse St Calvados, would you be keen on him? Or?
I think the ground is probably pretty quick for St Calvados as well too. It looks very, very soft ground. He handled Naas well. It was nice ground, but I think Footpad didn't perform on the day. He didn't jump well. He got an overreach early on and was a bit hit and miss, and he beat, I think, a substandard horse on the day, but he's a good horse. And I mean, if Min doesn't beat him here today, then Min is not as good as I think he is anyway. I think Min will win. I think jumping a clear round and things going well for him. He's a classy horse, and I think he's good over 2.5, and he's fresh and well. I think he'll be hard to beat.
Okay, let's go down to Andy Mack.
I'm joined by Harry Whittington, trainer of English Raider St Calvados. You came over with a successful raid earlier in the season to Naas.
We did. Maybe we were getting ahead of ourselves, but look, you know, he's in good form, so you know it was either this or the game spirit. So look, Andrew was keen to have a go at this, so Andrew Brooks. So you know, we're here and we'll see how we get on.
Andrew Brooks, he's a few horses with you?
Yeah, very lucky. We've got a few horses with us, and we're very lucky for that. And racing manager Sean Tien, and they send us a few, so it's great. And look, obviously to have a top class 2-mile chaser like St Calvados is great, but obviously today is going to be very tough with the likes of Min. You know, he's going to be very tough to beat and to come all the way over here, but we'll see how we get on.
You know, if you're not in, you can't win, and I suppose at Naas you probably come over as an underdog as well and came out on top that day. He's a horse who he seemed to calm down as time has gone on.
Oh, definitely, yeah, he has. He's a much more relaxed professional these days. He's a big character, actually. He actually handled the ground really well at Naas. I've always supposed, because he's got such an action, has always proposed he'd be better on softer ground, but Aidan always said last year he'd be better on better ground. And at Naas we felt it was good ground in the home straight, and he was very effective on the ground. And then in the Tingle Creek he didn't really seem to handle the very deep ground. You know, he's having a good old think about things because he is a character. And then he stayed on well once he got back on the chase course on the better ground. He kind of stayed on very well. So look, you know, obviously he's still a young horse. He's only 6, and we're learning about him all the time, and he's improving, strengthening up all the time. So we come here, we'll give it a go and see how we get on.
And before we wish you luck, I mentioned on your jockey an expat, Gavin Sheehan.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Gavin's is a quality rider. He's a top class rider. He's very laid back. He doesn't let the big occasion get to him. You know, and he's a great judge of pace. And so look, you know, he'll know what to do. So we're looking forward to it anyway.
Very good. Best of luck. Hopefully you're being interviewed afterwards.
Thank you. It's very kind. Cheers.
Yes, a very welcome visitor, Harry Whittington, of course, trainer of St Calvados, the Saint Gelding, the Mount of Gavin Sheehan. He's one of 5 runners for the Dublin Ladbrokes Chaser course. Late absentee, number 5, Simply Ned. Here are the runners and riders. And Min, of course, who won the running of it last year. Back to defend his crown. He was very good on the John Gherkin, of course, Min and Footpad. 2 very good horses trained by Willie Mullins in this division in this distance category. Castlegrace Paddy, Andrew Lynch, the jockey for Pat Fahey. 2 men, Ruby Walsh, currently in the market. 15-8 on favourite men. 3 Ordinary World, Rachel Blackmore. 4 St Calvados, Gavin Sheehan. 5 is the absentee, and 6 is the old boy at the party, 12 years of age. Special tiara for Henry de Bromett and Robbie Power. Market Tom Lee 15-8, although some bookmakers are only offering you 2-1 on.
Yes, indeed. Bit of a changing of the guard here, Brian. You've got some of the old stages like Special Tiara well into the veteran stage now. 12 years young, former Queen Mother Champion Chase winner. Probably a bit long in the tooth to be winning this. And then the young bucks, the upcoming sorts, the likes of St Calvados, Harry Whittington's horse, who's been so exciting in Britain. And it'll be intriguing, really. His trainer's comments about his adjustment to this quicker ground. Really fascinating to see how that plays out. He's solid, no more than that. St Calvados at 4-1 and 9-2 here in the betting ring. Very weak is Castlegrace Paddy, a horse that a lot of people are really excited by, but the market, very much speaking, not in his favour today, Castlegrace Paddy. He was excellent at Cork in the Hilly Way, but the market placing a big question mark next to him today. Easy to back at 8 or 9-1, and really a lopsided market, because the one we haven't talked about, the horse who towers above these on ratings at level weights, 167 rated Min, the horse who absolutely cantered to victory in this race 12 months ago, the horse who will tighten up from his seasonal reappearance when he won the Gherkin, and the horse who's 5 from 9 over fences, 2 course and distance wins, and everything. Lots of the punters coming in here today, playing up the names of Envoi Allen and Min together in multiple bets. They'll be really hoping here. The bookmakers praying he gets beaten. Punters looking to try and complete doubles and trebles and try and get Min here successful and repeat last year's victory. The market has him well and truly worked out. 4-7 is the price about Min for the repeat.
Yeah, so not long to go now. I mean, when the original entries were looked at here, was Footpad, who was the favourite for everybody, I suppose, in the market. But as he started drifting last week, you got the impression that he wasn't going to run, and Min contracted. I mean, if you look towards Cheltenham Champion Chase, you have Altior leading the way, but then you have Min, we have Footpad, we have Understow. I mean, it could be a cracking race if they all line up.
It would be a great race if they all lined up, but I mean, Altior still starts fairly short on what we've seen so far. But Min is entitled to win this. A clear round should see Min win this. And I'm not sure he's a 2-1 on-shot or a 7-4 on-shot over fences when you think Applejade was even money only a couple of hours ago. But he should beat these.
Okay, let's go down to Tracy. So
yes, I've just caught up with owner Chris Jones. He's got Ordinary World in this one and Paloma Blue in the race after that. But first of all, Ordinary World hasn't won for a while. Are you hoping for better things today, Chris?
Well, I suppose he's very consistent in that he always seems to manage to finish in the first 3. He doesn't get a lot of credit for it, but, you know, he's finished 2nd and 3rd to Min, so he's always there or thereabouts. So, listen, it'd be lovely just to get a clear round, and if I saw him in the first 3, I'd be thrilled.
And he's very capable of doing so. And Paloma Blue as well, in the following race, has some great form, was just beaten at Cheltenham last year. Just a little bit in and out with his jump.
Yeah, but I think he is a bit of a work in progress. He was a bit slow last year when he started out, and I'm hoping, and we're all hoping, that he's learning as he's going along. So
he's definitely got ability, hasn't he? He looks good.
Yeah, he's a big engine, and I think he enjoys this trip and he enjoyed the ground. He just needs to get his jumping together, but hopefully he will.
We'll look forward to seeing both of them. Thanks for talking to us, Chris.
Not at all.
Thanks a lot.
Well, there he is, number 3, Ted, Ordinary World.
Yeah, Chris Jones, a great supporter of the jumping game as well, as all the Joneses were over the years. His father before him and his uncle. This horse has has an each-way chance, but there's no each-way bet. 6 runners. I don't suppose he'll beat Min unless something unforeseen happens to Min. As Chris said, he's a good, consistent horse. It's a bit of time since he actually stuck his nose in front in a race, but he's been banging in top company all the way along the line.
Yeah, 2 wins and 9 places from 21 runs. I tell you, if you own him, you'd be delighted with that. 3, Ordinary Worlds. Let's move on to the favourite then, Min, the talking horse of the day. Impressive winner, the John Gherkin, as you just saw at Punchestown from Shattered Love, but he's back to 2 miles here. His last run over 2 miles was the Punchestown Festival, 4th behind Understow that day. What is his best distance? Well, he's clearly fancied today. He's now 4-7 and the clear favourite.
Next is St Calvados. He's a front-running horse. He's quite free, always books out and makes all. He disappointed the last day in Sandown behind Altior and Undisu. He beat Footpad back in Ace before that, but he needs to show that form again.
Bonus Castle Grace Paddy, if he was really fired on all cylinders, he'd have a good chance. He's a classy horse. He was very impressive when he won the Hilly Way at Cork, but things came his way a bit, and he bolted in that occasion. Paul Townend was very impressive and was a good judge. Then he didn't run up the scratch the next time here. He wants to come back to his best to be a danger to Min.
And the last horse to look at is number 6 and Special Tiara for Henry de Bromhead. Robbie Perr in the saddle today. He ran the 2 mile chase at Kempton on December 27th. He finished 3rd there. He's a former champion chase winner, of course, in the year that Duvan disappointed. And at 12 years of age, though, probably the best days are behind him. 3rd in the Hilly Way at Cork. He's likely to be another front runner, I'd say.
He is, yeah. They were doing a bit on the Racing Post there for the last month, and the top 50 chasers, and he's considered one of the top 50 chasers, top 2 mile 50 chasers, top 50, whatever you want to put it, of all time. They're eliminating the last fence, the Sun as well. I hope when Punchestown or when Leopardstown get around to building a new stand here, they build some bloody thing high enough that we don't have the last fence and the last hurl gone over. Because, to be honest now, Leopardstown could badly do with a second fence. There's only 2 fences from the back of the 3rd last. Far too much galloping. They could do with another fence, and I think they could do it in the straight, move this one up a bit and have a second one in the straight. But we've been saying that for years. It won't happen. It's only pogwash by me.
Will it make any difference taking out that last fence? I mean, they're there to be jumped, but that one isn't. I mean, it probably shouldn't affect it too much, should it, Katie?
No, it won't, but it's just a nice spectacle to see them round off the bend and head down towards the last fence, for us anyway. You know, for them it won't, and for the betting public it won't. But for me, standing here watching it, I'd way prefer to see them race off the bend and come down to the last fence and see what happens from the back of the last. But it is what it is.
I'd like to see 2 fences there. I'd like to see the last fence up 100 yards and then see another fence down there where the lads are standing a bit further down. It's a big galloping track. It's about jumping. It's not about galloping. We have enough flat racing here all year. I mean, it's a great track down the back, but it lends itself to a second fence in the straight.
Yeah, it's all about Min here.
Used to be a water jump here one time, right at the stands. When you passed by the stands, there was a water jump. Then they found it was in the way, a bit like the one in Newbury. You couldn't avoid it. So it was only here for about maybe a year or 2, and it was gone again. Back in the day.
I don't remember that. Who do you?
No, I don't think even Brian Gleeson remembers that either.
No, Brian Gleeson doesn't remember it either, you know.
Yeah, look, I mean, the sun is great for us because we're nice and warm up here. I was expecting, I have 14 layers from Dunstores. Ted, you told me to go and get the old long johns. And
yeah, the whole on, yeah.
We don't need them at all. So we're getting the tan up here with the sunshine. It's fantastic.
Don't strip down to your long johns anyway.
I won't.
If I find a man in Honors Yard, I don't think you'd switch anyone on your long johns.
Kate be off in the parade ring. She'd run a mile, I tell you that much. Robbie Perr looks like he's going to try and make it again, as Special Tiara tends to do. I mean, Ordinary World's sitting in behind, and Ruby, calm as you like, as always. All right, Tony O'Hare, take it away.
Away they go for the Ladbrokes Dublin chase, and making their way up towards the stands. They've 9 fences to jump instead of the usual 11 as they bypass the fence in the straight, and it's Special Tiara, the former 2 mile champion, in the lead from St Calvados, the British Raider in second. He's the one with the big noseband. Then Castle Grace Paddy in third, followed by the odds-on favourite Min, and bringing up the rear, the striped colours of Ordinary World. Heading up towards the first, and Special Tiara has pulled up quickly. He's gone wrong there. He's injured a hind leg. Special Tiara has been pulled up injured as they go away towards the first fence, and St Calvados left in front of Castle Grace Paddy, and Castle Grace Paddy's a faller, so we started with 5, we're down to 3. St Calvados from Min in second place, and they're followed by Ordinary World as they come to fence number 2. St Calvados, Gavin Sheehan over from Min in second, and third and last Ordinary World as they head into the turn, taking them towards the first of the fences in the back straight. St Calvados, 67 lengths clear of Min in second, and he's about 5 lengths up on Ordinary World as they swing into the back straight. St Calvados leads by about 6 lengths, followed in second place by Min, and a 5-length gap to Ordinary World, the back marker of the 3 remaining runners. St Calvados from Min, Ordinary World all safely over as they go to the second one in the back straight, and St Calvados leads by over 6 lengths, Min in second under Ruby Walsh, and then a gap to Rachel Blackmore on Ordinary World as they come to the next plain fence. St Calvados in the lead, and clear from Min in second, Ordinary World third and last as they clear that and come to the first of the two open ditches. St. Calvados leads from Min in second. Behind the favourite, Ordinary World. As they take this open ditch, St. Calvados in the lead, over from in second place, Min. Jumping sideways was Ordinary World as they go down towards the next fence, which is 4 from home today, and St. Calvados meets it wrong but gets away with it. In second place is Min, and finally Ordinary World as they continue on now towards the next fence, which is the third last, and St. Calvados from Min a bit closer in second, and then Ordinary World at this fence now, and St. Calvados over from Min in second, and finally Ordinary World as they race down towards the final open ditch on the bend out of the back straight. This is the second last fence in this Ladbrokes Dublin chase, and St. Calvados leads. Min is just over 4 lengths back in second, similar gap to Ordinary World. St. Calvados over. Min gets a length closer there, and Ordinary World is behind him as they round the turn and race inside the last half mile. Just 1 fence to jump, and St. Calvados, who was left in front when Special Tiara was pulled up injured, he's in front at the final fence, over from Min in second, and then Ordinary World as they race towards the home turn. St. Calvados comes under pressure. Min travels well in second, and Ordinary World running a good race just in behind them as they round the turn and race up the long straight, bypassing the final fence. And the leader, St. Calvados, joined by Min travelling strongly, and Ordinary World tucked in behind them as they race now towards the final furlong. It's Min the leader from St. Calvados in second. Ordinary World staying on as they race into the closing stages. It's Min out in front, the favourite from Ordinary World, who's run a very good race in second. St. Calvados is beaten in third, and up the line Min wins it very easily. Grade 1 success for Min, wins it easily from Ordinary World in second, and third and last St. Calvados.
Well, what do you think of that, Katie?
Yeah, it was a really good, solid performance. You know, obviously, I said earlier on I would have liked to see the last in, but when I saw Ruby rock up on the outside on the bridle, I was glad I wasn't there. Obviously, pity to lose Special Tiara heading down towards the first, but good gallop every step of the way after that. I didn't know how he was really travelling early, to be honest, but the further he was going, the better he was, and he winged the second last, which is actually the last, and he came there with plenty of horse and went away well.
Happy enough, Ted?
Yeah, I mean, he did what you expect him to do. He's an odds-on shot, especially Tiara. Unfortunately, he got badly injured here. Hind leg must have pulled a tendon off his hock or something, to what he looked like to me, and he pulled up. And then Castlegrave's Paddy take a rotten fall at second. He was lucky there because he was on the inside of Castlegrave's Paddy. Like, he could have fell the other way and brought him down. And again, as I said, no offence here. If you're on the favourite, you're glad there's no offence because there's no fear of him falling. He's done it well. But you'd expect him to beat Ordinary World and St. Calvados as easy did. I mean, St. Calvados was no match in the Tinkle Creek, wasn't it?
No, absolutely not. No, he was beaten out of sight on a bit of heavy ground behind Undisu and Altior.
All right, let's hear from Ruby. He's with Andy.
Well done, Ruby. He's a horse who probably doesn't grab all the headlines all the times, but he's a fairly top-level performer all the same.
I was talking to AP about him yesterday, and he was saying it reminds him of Exotic Dancer. Exotic Dancer ran into Caudo Star, and this fella's unlucky to run into Altior. Without Altior, he'd be a supreme and a champion chase winner. He's a very good horse in his own right. He got a fright at she was the first that we jumped when Castlegrave's Paddy fell. It took him a while to warm up, but he travelled super then, jumped really well. I was in front sooner than he wanted to be without the last fence, but he quickened really well when he met the running rail and did it nicely.
Yeah, you say you were in front a bit soon, but you're in a lovely position down to what was the last, and I suppose there was nothing you could do after that stage but just leave him on.
No, but I suppose I moved to the back of the second last. I knew the last wasn't there, so I could have stayed a bit longer where I was. But anyway, he's won, so it's great, super.
And I suppose nothing now but another go at Altior.
Yeah, he obviously has the Ryanair option as well. He won the John Gherkin and he was second in the Melling chase and entry over 2.5 to Politolog, so he has options. But we'll see where we're going in a couple of weeks' time and see how he is.
Well done, Ruby.
Cheers, Andy.
He does have options, Ted. And what would you do?
I'd probably run him in the champion chase. I mean, there's only one, the champion chase. I mean, the Ryanair is going to be a good race as well too. It's a right good race as well. But they have a footpad as well. They might keep them apart and one of them go one way, so they might even go one way or the other. Do you know? I hear Ruby saying there, I was in front sooner than I wanted to be. Jockeys say that. Why were they? Unless the horse falls in front of you, there's no reason to be in front only when you want to be. I mean, flat jockeys come in and same thing to say, I was in front sooner than I want to be. But unless the horse in front of you actually drops dead or falls, like, why would you
when you're there, you're there. Like.
Why would you there?
Well, the only thing I'd say is that, to be fair to the other horse, he was going backwards.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why he landed there in front when he didn't want to be there. Like, you can't pull back behind the horse in front of you that's slowing down either.
No,
if a horse takes a keen hold of you and wants to be further along than perhaps.
Well, at that point of the race anyway, I mean, it looked like the horse in front was curling up and Ruby was hacking there easily and got there a bit sooner than what he wanted to do. But, I mean, if the horse is stopping in front of you, there's nothing you can do about that. You're not going to pull back behind the horse in front of you either.
Yeah, as I say, disappointing to see Special Tiara come down. Castlegate's Paddy as well. Since he won that hilly way, has just been disappointed.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, like, for the fatties as well too, because they've two nice horses, Dunvegan and Castlegate's Paddy, and if they stood up and do what they can do, you don't mind. But when that happens to you, it's very disappointing. Ordinary World has run a good race again.
More place money.
Yeah, more place money. Huge place money today. Like, there was 25,000 there for being second today. But when you move into Grade 1 races, you're always going to get only maybe 6 or 7 runners, because that's the amount of horses that actually make that grade at any given time, you know.
Yeah, Ruby happy out. I'm sure Willie is as well. And the question now is, where does he go at Cheltenham? Is it Champion Chase? Is it Ryanair? His footbag coming back as well. Obviously, not a lot said about him this week, but he didn't make the final declarations when they were released yesterday. Sunshine continues to pour down on the parade ring here, and everyone, I'm sure, favourite backers as well, delighted today. That's Apple's Jade. Obviously, there was great support for Commando Fleet in the first as well. I mean, the bookmakers have taken a bit of a bashing, which is great.
Great. And you're getting a few quid, and you have a good 3-timer running, have you?
I do, yeah. Laurishburg in the next, but we'll see what happens. But here's the breeding.
Yeah, he's by Walk in the Park. Walk in the Park is a good stallion. He's by Monju. Monju is a great out of the good family there, Classic Park. All them are very good animals. They won lots of good races everywhere and anywhere, and bred a heap of good winners. And but Walk in the Park was a good racehorse. He was second in the Epsom Derby, Michael Tabor's colours, and he was trained in France. But he's gone as a good stallion now. He's down in Grange or Castlehyde, one or the other. He's down there in the cool Magnus outfit. Anyway, I'm not sure which of the two studs he's in, but he's there. He's a good stallion. His horses are well received at the sales, and people like him. And he's Duvan is supposed to be out of the walk. We know the equation is not a great help, but he's got a lot of good horses.
What's Willie asking Ruby there when he comes back in? Is he just asking how he travelled around? How did he feel under him? What does he want to know?
Yeah, it's general chit chat. Richie is there as well.
Who's going to win the rugby match? Somebody asked him.
Yeah, well, that could be discussed as well too. But they're both happy enough. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's not.
It's more of a chat and analysis of how it went. It's a hell of a lot easier to have a winning chat than having a losing chat.
Losing chat is not so good.
But no, I'd say just the way he travelled and how he jumped and how much horse he had left at the end.
Richard, big smile for him. The famous colours, obviously. I think Anna Mix running in that novice hurdle tomorrow. Was disappointing Limerick last time out, and you know Duvan we know was gone for the season. But Richie's had his fair share of good things. Faheen as well. Hopefully he might line out in the stairs because 2 mile days are behind him.
He's had absolutely loads of top class
Duvan, Vautour, I mean incredible, isn't it really? I mean Vroom Mag, Annie Power.
Yeah.
You can keep Camille Ducotte as well that won there the last day. Looks another good mare as well. I mean, he just seems wherever he gets them.
Yeah, he's a good man to put his hand in his pocket and pull out for him. He pays for him as well too, and he's good for the game because he's flamboyant and he talks to the press, and he's a bit of a story about him, and he's a good man, Richie. He's good company, and he rarely, if he has a horse running, he's always around at the run, and he's good company as well too. He's good for him. Brian is with Willie.
Yeah, he's with Willie.
Well, went very much to script. It did. Unfortunate to lose Henry's horse earlier on. But with the first and last fence out, you know, I'm not sure it told us much. You know, so I was delighted my fellow just ran up to the form. He got I think he got a fright when Castlegrace Paddy fell and didn't jump well for the next few fences, but especially the first one down the back, he just propped at it and stopped. I said if he keeps doing that, he's going to be out of the race, but Ruby got him jumping then and got him into a rhythm down the back, and it was only a matter of waiting until he got over the last and just giving him the office to go, which he did.
It's a good horse in these days, as Ruby alluded to. Without Altior, he'd be a Supreme and a Queen Mother champion chase winner. He won the John Gherkin nicely. He seems to be versatile in trip.
Yes, he can use the pace for 2 miles. He can go out to 2.5, and maybe even an extra furlong or two as well. When he's on song and he jumps well, he can gain ground in the air and just keep his position. So he's a lot of doors open to him.
What way are you thinking? The next question.
I'm very happy to win today, and that's as far as I'm thinking. And so, that's good. Rich is over for the race as well, and so we had our owner here, everyone here.
Still getting a great buzz out of it.
Of course, yeah, of course. Well, when you have horses like that, you have to get a buzz.
Talk to you about tomorrow, of course, the Gold Cup in terms of Bell's Hill and Alboom Photo. Ruby has gone for Bell's Hill, but Patrick, in today's Irish Independent, very sweet on the Tremor winner, Alboom Photo.
Is he? Yeah, I didn't read the papers yet, but Alboom Photo hadn't done anything wrong. But Bell's Hill ran a cracker here at Christmas. I'd be sticking with him if I was. Ruby is sticking with him, so to me he looks the one.
It's good enough for us. Willie Mullins, well done.
Cheers. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, Willie Mullins there, very happy man, and obviously tomorrow that Gold Cup is going to be a cracking race as well. Just a quick word then on Alboom Photo. Waterford last time out, I thought he was very, very impressive. Did you like what you saw there? He's going on the Gold Cup tomorrow.
Yeah, I thought he was good the last day, but it's wide open again. Again to tomorrow, I find, and it'll be interesting to see as well. There's horses coming out here with the ground left, right and centre, so it'll be interesting to see what comes up tomorrow.
And Ken Boy as well, it was so good the last day.
Yeah, but as Katie said, the ground now, there's 2 horses out of this chase because of the good ground.
Okay.
And, it dries again, lads will walk it tomorrow and see what it is. The one thing you don't want to do, and anyone will tell you has a horse, if you get a touch of a leg in a horse, that's the end of his career. You can say he'll be fine in 12 months. He won't be fine in 12 months. Yeah. The chances are he'll never again be fine.
Yeah, the grass still going in January. That's what Willie said, which is just unheard of.
Yeah, it's unheard of. Right. Unheard of, yeah.
But anyway, look, we'll see. Okay, let's go down to top.
Yes, indeed, Hugh. As you alluded to, it is turning into a reasonable day for punters. That's 5 races run here at Leopardstown. 3 winning favourites, the latest of which is Min, who's taken the Dublin Chase, upgraded this year to Grade 1 status for the 2nd year running. Not too many moments of anxiety for Ruby Walsh, and as he said himself in that walk-back interview, he's a very good horse in his own right. He's now 6 from 10 over fences, and he's won 3 times here at Leopardstown over course and distance. These are the starting prices for today's Dublin Chase. Your winner, Min, returning in front in this race for the 2nd year running, 4-9 the odds of reward. Ordinary World second at 12-1. Third was the front running San Calvados at 4-1. Loads more to come here, because after the break we'll be looking at the 3:45. That's the Irish Arkle. But on the way there, we're going to go once more back to the feature, and a reminder of this day 10 years ago, the day when silver turned to gold.
Golden Silver is one of 2 runners in the race trained by Willie Mullins. He's got his ground here today, and he's got better and better since he's been with Willie.
It's going to be a very tactical race, so I don't think the other 2 horses are going to be involved, so I just told my 2 jockeys jump out and make the best of their way home. Gold and Silver, 2 of them can stay in front.
For Paddy the Plaster was favourite 7-4, although 2-1 drawing up about J.O. Follow the plan 9-4 and 10-1 Gold and Silver. All 4 horses, to be fair, have their followers and are being backed.
Tony, they've jumped off, and everything going to plan for the Mullins pair.
Yes, J.O. in the green and yellow on the right. Alongside him is Gold and Silver. Gold and Silver, and for Paddy the Plaster, a little cheers between them at the last. And it's Gold and Silver who's just in front as he races up towards the line for Paddy the Plaster, coming back with another lunge. Gold and Silver for Paddy the Plaster.
Was it very tough out there?
Yeah, down the back there is heavy, it takes a proper horse to go through today.